Sadhu, sadhu. So, dear Dhamma friends, today is Binara Full Moon Day. Today is the day that Buddha expand his community of Sangha. And in the beginning, only monks we had. Then what happened that his stepmother, the Prajapati Gautami, and came and asked for nunhood. And then he established the community of the nuns. And especially when it comes to Buddha's teaching, and when we look at this conventional life, gender is a big issue in our culture, tradition, even in the religions, even the culture that overtake through the history. We see that sometimes the teachings of the Buddha, it's happened all over the world. Teachings of the Buddha sometimes overtake by the culture of whatever in that country. So even when the one of the good example is the Buddha statue. See, the image of the Buddha overtake by the culture or the nation's identity. So that's why the different kind of Buddha statue that you can see. Because they don't want a different Buddha, they want their own Buddha. Why? What does that mean? Because they bound to the image, not the Buddha, the idea, Buddhahood. So the gender the same, and the community of Sangha. And in this 2,600 years in this journey, that we bound to the lot of culture and the traditions and the language. And with that, today come to a place, we celebrate the Binara full moon. That is the day the community of nuns start their journey towards the spiritual life. But today, we don't have any nuns in kind like Sri Lanka. So I was thinking, and how that all the temple celebrate today the Binara full moon and telling this history, but still we don't have it. And no one, even the thing is, no one allowed to do it. Otherwise people can do that. Otherwise the monks or then the government and everybody can do it. But they're not allowed to do that. And forget about becoming a nun, or sometimes that when it comes to countries in conventional life, there are sometimes, it's always the gender become a barrier. So that is one thing that you have to understand. And while you knowing this, our own life or our own become a barrier, sometimes we appreciate it. So when you become a prisoner, if you like to be in the prison, how other people can rescue you? Then you have to question yourself. If you don't want to get out of it, how other people can release you? There are some birds, once they addicted to the cage, even the cage open, the door open, the bird doesn't fly. So today the same. So the culture, tradition, believing system, this everything make us comfortable. But what the Buddha said, this anything is not safe. This anything is not safe for you to settle down. So then what you have to do? And as soon as possible, try to get into the higher level, because there is a place that is the only place that you can exist without gender. That is enlightenment. That is the enlightenment. Once you come to that is the real gender equality you're going to experience. Once you attain to the enlightenment, and it doesn't matter, you are whatever, even that, no any division there. Beggar, poor, rich, king, or the queen, or man or woman, it doesn't matter. So unless you attain to enlightenment, remember, your life in a risk, you are in a cage, you are in conditions. We can say, of course, we have this everything, we have the culture, tradition, we respect that all. But when it comes to your life, the Buddha's main purpose was not to hold it to that anything. So if you able to get whatever out of that, and it's like how the ironsmith beating and burning the iron and beating and try to get the shape. Can you use this all the tools to look for the wisdom rather than settling down with something else? So our purpose is just we enjoy it. We enjoy the culture. We enjoy the tradition. We enjoy the religion. No, just get out of it as soon as possible. It is why? Because it is a risk. It is a risk. So then, as all the women, you have to remember, don't look for gender equality, or don't try to find the equal salary for you. That it is not going to work. Look how old the human life in the world. How old. But still, so why in the history someone couldn't fix this? Even when it come to look any field, the place you work, even the politics, the culture, tradition, see how cultural barriers still. Sometimes some temples, women cannot go. And it's kind of like you have to worship from outside. Every religion, they have something. And even you have to cover your head. Otherwise, or you can, but men can walk naked. But you have to cover everything. So, and some temples you cannot go. Then the some places, only certain time periods you can go there. From where this came? In the Buddha's teaching, there's nothing like that. It cannot be. Because in the Buddha's teaching, it is not the purpose. It is, getting to understand the truth and get out of this all. But today, when we look at that, we don't talk about the beginning of the truth. And look, what the Buddha that gave the permission to become nuns. And today you see, and when you become a nun, it's say you have to follow this much more discipline. And it is only for conventional people. That's ideas, this everything is only you. If you exist in the society as an ordinary person, this story is good for you. You can worship that, you can, be with it, you can tell the stories about it, you can do the puja for that, you can do the chanting for that. But if you look for the enlightenment, forget about this all. Who knows who wrote these things? Because when it comes to the Buddha's real compassion and his real the vision about the life, there cannot be something like that. So then you have to understand. That's always, that is the nature of the world. Everything in every religion, this always happening everywhere. Even not like there are other religions. So kind of like the women's is kind of like something, there are some religions, women's is kind of like a piece of meat. There are certain countries, women's it's kind of like a lemon. You can squeeze to even the become the squeeze and the break the even the complete that outside skin even, but no one going to talk about it. But when it comes to Buddha's real teaching, it is not about what is your gender. It's nothing to do with that. And during that time, even the caste system was there. And Buddha didn't, it is not the Buddha's path. What the Buddha said, your action decide who you are. That's it. It's nothing to do the birthplace, wherever you came, going to make you a high caste or no. Your action going to decide who you are. So then, when you sit for meditation, and if you are really focused to your mental object and go with that, in that samadhi, no gender. So that's why this path is take you to the right place. And then, so you have to remember, if you look for liberation, so that liberation you cannot find through these liberal parties, this politics or the movements. You will never going to get it. Conventional freedom is an illusion. It never going to happen in this earth. Why? Because this entire world, from to this 3 billion years, from Homo sapiens, we keep going. The governed by heat, that the greed, hatred, and the delusion. That is governed this world. In that government, you cannot find the freedom. Freedom is just a brand name. Why you have to look for freedom is still today. Look at the world. We have everything, to the highest. Why? But today, look, everywhere. It's not going to happen. So that's why we kind of like we are in illusion looking for freedom and finding the freedom. We have freedom parties, and politically, economically, spiritually, we always talk about this. Never going to happen. But your time is very limited. Within these few years, 80, 50 or 60 years, and even that also half of, we have to do other things. Very limited time you have. In that limited time, forget about all the divisions and start to look for real truth for yourself. Don't get bound to, don't get tangled with other unnecessary information. So when the Buddha gave this permission nuns to the women to become nuns, and it was that conventional life, not in the spirit. The enlightened masters came and no any arahata came and told, no, don't do it like that. And all the community of Sangha didn't have any problem during that time. Buddha didn't have any problem about it. Otherwise, he not going to give permission to them. Who have the problem? The conventional us, this ordinary people like us, we have the problem. So then what we does? And we have the problem. So we are the one who govern this all the books and the Tripitaka and all the, the ordinary people. and they take decision. So when they take decision and it become the culture, it become the tradition, and then other people, everybody follow that. So then remember, when it comes to Buddha's teaching, yourself and get out of it. Don't worship your culture. The culture, because it's always changed. Look, don't, why you should not worship the culture, even don't worship the religion. It doesn't make any sense. And maybe as example, you are in a good, very Buddhist family, and you go to temple every full moon, and then you worship and do everything, and oh, you are Buddhist, and tomorrow you go to market or you go to another place, you go somewhere, and you find a very handsome boy, or maybe for a boy you find a very pretty girl, maybe from another religion. What you does? Forget about Tata, bye, Buddha, I go with this, and you go. That's happening everywhere. Half of in our countries, or most of the countries, see, the Korea used to be Buddhist, and there are a lot of countries used to be like that. But if they find the American, the lot of this other religions go there, and they give the money. When they have the money, bye bye Buddha, bye, see you next time, and they go with it. So then you keep worship. It doesn't work. This all just to mesmerize ourselves. So everything the same. It is good. Nothing wrong with anything. It is everything good. But the only thing is for you. If you look for the truth, that doesn't make anything to you. It may be good for other people, whoever, so like different people have different views. So if that person go with that, it is good. Go with it. So then, but yourself, when you look for the truth, remember, just go for it. If you look for the salvation or the liberation or the Nibbana, go for it. When you have that clear understanding, the clear wanting, the clear desire, that is what you need. Because you don't need the Buddha's initiation. Remember, that is different. This mesmerized culture allow us to think you have to be initiated. No. You no need to initiate by somebody, or now you are like this. No. When you go towards the truth, you go for it. When in Buddha's, there are some Buddhas, it's called Pacheka Buddha. That himself, he understands certain, but he not going to preach, he not going to talk to others. See, that's mean. Even without the Buddha, you can get into certain level of the understanding. But luckily we have the Buddha, and our path is very easy. So you have to get the opportunity out of it, rather than holding it. Go, leave it. Get this all and get out of this samsara. That is where you recognize it. And don't look for any other destination. This done. This is what keep happening all the time. So like this today, and a long time ago, that happened in this earth. And with Mahaprajapati Gautami and 500 another women, and came to Buddha. And she start this path of nunhood, and then open the gate to all the women to attain to enlightenment. But in conventional life, people not allow you to do it. Forget about enlightenment, that sometimes the husband not allow you to eat the way you want to eat, to allow you to sleep the way you want to sleep, or even allow you to smile the way you want to do. No, they not allow. That's conventional life. That is how it is. You no need to disappoint about it. But when you look for the Buddha's teaching, there is no gender equality, or there is nothing to do with the gender. Even there is nothing to do with the age. So the Visakha, one of the great Buddha's, the disciple, and she was a good example. No gender equality, or the no age limit for you to attain to enlightenment. Even as a child, you can get into that. You don't need to get old and get advanced to get into this path. Only thing is how much you want to do that. That is where you have to look. So then be very clear in this path, in during this time period yourself, and have a very clear vision. And if you have that, if you really want it, you can get it. It is available for you. But if you have something else to do, it is up to you. It is better you go and do it, and then later whatever happens, then you can do. But if you look for the truth or the liberation, remember, it is available for you. There is, in the wisdom, enlightenment, there is no gender. Do you ever heard that it's like the restroom? It is good for men's and women's. How are you going to divide the enlightened for men, enlightened for women, Nibbana for men? No, it's not like that. So then remember yourself, don't get tangled to whatever the gender, because we ourselves we get, that is where the ego arises. That is the ego, self-centered mind. We ourselves bound to, tied to with the emotions for our gender. That itself keep us in the samsara. We are the one who feeding to our own gender. But when you look for the truth, the very first thing you get out of it. You get out of it. And then when it comes to compassion, can you try at least for a day? When you say, may all living beings, can you think without any gender? In day-to-day life, when you want to help for somebody, and sometimes when you want to give something, if there is a woman, maybe she is young, look healthy, and if you are a woman and you want to give few dollars or few money for her, and by seeing that, and you start to get disappointed, look at this woman, she can walk, she can work, and why she is here like this? So see that you comparing sometimes. Why you do that? Because you are the one who hold it to your own gender. And by the culture, it feeds us. Culture is the tradition and the religious believing feed to that, hold it to that. And even when you see a man, the same. And we deeply, we look for the gender, it's the foundation. And it come with the desire also. There is an emotional desire, hold it to this. It has a strong roots than we think. But this everything going to go once you decide to look for the truth. So that is the real period. That is the real escape for you. So then yourself remember, only thing you need, sati sampajanya, clear comprehension. Just see things as it is. That will take you to recognize how things come to be as they are. So the vipassana, as I mentioned, it is an art of seeing without any action. So if you do the action, and for that actions, you need the gender. Because there are certain actions in conventionally and according to our physics, And some actions they are only men's can do, some actions only women's can do. So in that for the conventional life, it necessary. You know, for in conventional life, you need a separate bathroom for you. You know, it's for convenient. There are, you know, separate places for you in for conventional life. But if in the vipassana level, when you sit for meditation, remember, in this moment, or when you look at the world yourself inside you, so get out of your own gender, be completely a person, just experience things as it is without your gender based. Don't try to experience. And sometimes women say, hey, we are a women, we cannot do that. Oh, we are women, we cannot understand this. It is only for me. See, that even that understanding also we're not going to accept. But for understanding, there is no gender. That is the Buddha's uh, teaching. So when we look at the overall, when you look at the Buddha's history and teachings, that is what I can see. Maybe if there is another something, I don't know. But this is what I can see. So then think about it. If you find something else, it is better, you go with. But that what I see, this is. So think about it. And if you think and you have to question it and you have to argue about it and you have to, like iron smith, you beat it, you burn it, and you clean it and put it to water again and again and again and again and again and again. You put it to fire and beating, and you have to question. You have to question this everything before you believe or follow something and see what this is. And then if you really find something, go for it. You will get it. So with that, I bless upon everyone with this good practice. May all of you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you. May no difficulties come to you. May no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. During this time period, may everyone stay healthy and safe. And finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sabbityo vajjantu sabbarogo vinassatu mate bhavattantarayo sukhi dīghāyuko bhava. Ittavata ca ammihi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Idam me punya kammang asavakkaya vaham hotu sabba dukkha pamuntutu. Bless you.